And hello, today we talk about another mobile PA system. And I'm happy to present this to you because I got excited about it almost a year ago, and now I'm more excited because it's even newer. So on Gasaway, on 42 Gear Island, Sweetwater supplied us with two Bose S1 systems, and I didn't quite know why we would need them, and I'm super happy they did because they saved our ass in so many situations. We blasted music through them, we did little concerts with acoustic guitar and vocals, we ran the Pod Go through them in stereo. These things were battery powered, super light, lasted a long time, and they were the glue that held a lot of these videos together, and really just the super flexible tool that we used for many situations. And now, as I found out at Sweetwater's Gearfest 2023, thank you Sweetwater and Bose, they showed me that they've updated, and I was like, okay, they made little screens that are, okay. No, they did quite a bit more. And I was like, really? And they were like, yep. And I was like, really? So it was a good system, and holy crap, did they improve it. And now that I actually watched their tutorials, I was like, oh really? I thought it was good. And then they improved. I found out even more things that are pretty impressive for a system this big, this light, this flexible. I'm gonna present this to you because I really want to. I'm not getting paid for this. Sweetwater sent this for Gear Street, and said I can keep it, which is amazing because I love having something like this. On the island, let me show you a clip that we recorded with this in the field. Acoustic guitar and vocals, wirelessly, yes, absolutely, wirelessly. I recorded it with a binaural mic on the camera, meaning there's fake ears on the camera, recording it exactly like you would be hearing it if you were standing in that field. Careful, there's a drone in the air, which means you will be hearing the drone. So it's not a perfect recording, there is something going on, but that actually also shows you what you're actually hearing, okay? So please take the time, put on headphones, because if you listen to a binaural recording even with great speakers, it's not right. It has to be on your ears, otherwise you're not experiencing it like it's meant to be. After that, for the rest of the video, you can take the headphones off again. So here's Rafa doing one of his songs.
Standing at the crossroads, asking for the path. I don't believe in Jesus nor in higher math. I try to close my eyes and rely on what I see. The world in black and white is not enough for me. I gotta get up, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm fed up, it's time for me to disappear. I'm under stress, I depress my family. I'm in regress and there is no remedy. Oh, I'm losing touch with reality. This kind of duality, it's too much for my mind and any kind of psychotherapy. I'm taking out for better days. I'm gonna solve this twisted maze. Turn around, leave town, and change my sorry ways. Taking out for better days. I'm gonna solve this twisted maze. Turn around, leave town, and change my sorry ways. We're sitting in a cave and we're looking at our shades, but mine is getting bigger as I walk away. I open up my eyes and rely on what I feel. I wanna buy the world, but I might have to steal. If only got up, I don't know what I'm doing here. I woke up, I rub my eyes and see it clear. New day, new game, new victory. Unchained, no pain is history. Oh, I'm losing touch with reality. This kind of duality, it's too much for my mind and any kind of psychotherapy. I'm taking out for better days. I'm gonna solve this twisted maze. Turn around, leave town, change my sorry ways. I'm taking out for better days. I'm gonna solve this twisted maze. Turn around, leave town, and change my sorry ways. This kind of duality is too much for my mind and any kind of psychotherapy. I'm taking off for better days. I'm gonna solve this twisted maze. Turn around, leave town, change my sorry ways. I'm taking off for better days. I'm gonna solve this twisted maze. Turn around, leave town, change my sorry ways. I'm taking off for better days. I'm gonna solve this twisted maze.
Aircraft Low Level Batterie. Wo ist es denn das Aircraft? Da hinten ist Aircraft.
Okay, all with this little thing, all wirelessly. Let's get into some stats. It is lightweight. I don't know how light. I mean, it's light. Okay, it's really light. It's got a 10 to 11 hour roughly battery life, which is impressive. There are bigger systems, but have I mentioned it's light? Now, I do not know where the battery goes. Could be under these screws, but that also means it's not an easy flippity-floppity, take it out immediately, have a second battery with you situation. So if the battery runs out after 10 hours, plug it back in directly with an IEC cable, any IEC cable, no power supply necessary, and 100 to 240 volts, 50 or 60 hertz, so it works all around the world. It charges in about 4 hours, also impressive. Inside is not a big speaker and a small speaker. You cannot see this. I wish you could. There's actually a big speaker and then 3 small speakers in front of it, which means it actually, in Bose tradition, totally crazy shit, spreads everywhere. And then there's bass reflex holes. My brother said Bose uses the cheapest chassis ever, which means that the speaker people, my brother builds speakers. The actual speakers in here are crap. They're the cheapest China shit you can possibly buy. And then my brother goes on, and I hate them. I'm like, why? Well, because they use this really cheap crap that's cents, and they get these amazing sounds. So he hates the fact that it is rather inexpensive parts, but assembled and engineered in a way that always sounds very impressive. He himself said, this sounded great. How is this possible with these cheap-ass speakers? So it is how they're using them. There's 3 little ones and a big one in holes. So you have, for the 2 main channels, which you can, of course, plug in XLR or 1/4 inch balance if you wanted that, you got bass and treble adjustment very easily by just clicking in the control knob and then flip it around. I love that you don't have to hold in the power. You just click the power and then it goes on. And then now they have these really high resolution displays, and you can click on it to cycle through the parameters, which is treble, bass, reverb for the first 2 channels, not for the 3rd one, and then volume. And if you let it go, it always goes back to volume, so that is very convenient. The great thing is, in this thing, and you wouldn't even be able to see this, you can get just the speaker, or you can get it with 1 or 2 wireless units. And you can have instrument, XLR, any kind of combination. So this pulls out, and there's an XLR connector. Now be careful, you cannot connect a condenser to this thing at all. So one of my favorite mics is the Lewitt 950. It's an amazing handheld vocal mic, but that needs phantom power, so that wouldn't work. If you use an SM58, you're good. And this really doesn't add a lot to the 58, not a lot of weight, none of it. Very cool. If you wanted to connect something that is line level, you can also do that with XLR by holding in the 2 buttons and it switches to line level. That's clever. So by just plugging that into this port, it's automatically paired to channel 1. If I wanted to pair this one to channel 1, all I got to do is plug it in here and it pairs automatically. So as long as you pull this out of 1, it is connected to 1. And so in 2 here, I've got this plug directly into your acoustic or electric guitar. Super lightweight. It's got an on-off and a mute. Very, very light. These clock in at about 150 each, or just buy the whole thing. In the US for barely $1,000. In Europe, we're looking at 11 something. 1150, something like that. Which I find stunning for how good this sounds with two wireless transmitters. Of course, you can plug in things directly, but the great thing is if you're using the wireless transmitter and you're not plugging in here, you can use the 1/4 inch with an insert cable and actually insert effects. The input becomes an effects loop, which you enable here by holding in long, press and hold, and then there's an insert, and it's on auto or off. You can also turn that off. The wireless is automatic. Most of it is really automatic. You don't have to know anything. That is amazing. You could put in your own effects, your delays, your distortions, your modeling, whatever you wanted into the insert. On the 3rd channel, that is a line level input with 1/4 inch or a tiny little 3.5 something. But there's also Bluetooth, which can run in parallel to the line level input. So if you're putting your, I don't know, bass in there or whatever, or your keyboard, the Bluetooth still works, which technically makes it a 4-channel system. Okay, with caveats at that point, some compromises have to be made, sharing the 3rd channel, but that is so cool. So what else am I forgetting? I've got a list here. Oh, tone match. Well, with the iPhone app, I'm not going to show you this, please watch Bose's videos. You can control everything. All these settings can be easily controlled with the iPhone app. Bass, treble, and reverb can be set up, everything. And even with the app, a couple of things you can do that you cannot do on the unit itself. Like, for example, you could run Bluetooth to 2 at the same time in stereo. You could go and have this at a wedding, playing for 10 hours on 2 speaker stands, running Bluetooth from your freaking iPad, and run it in stereo. That is the easiest setup you've ever done in your life. It has an output. It has a line out. So you could run to a subwoofer, which it is meant to do. And in this case, you hold in channel 3, which also shows you the battery, by the way. See in the corner there, the little battery, that's where you see how much it is charged. That's where you would enable the sub-EQing, which means it just takes the low end out. It's got a lot of low end for the size, but then you can run a sub with it. Clever! But here's the coolest thing. You can run a line out to a different speaker and just extend it. You could run a line out from here into a second one, into the input number 1, and then you've got 2 speakers running the same signal. But you could take the transmitter from another one. So I'm taking the second Bose S1 Pro Plus. I'm taking the transmitter, which is paired to 1, and I'm plugging it in here. Which means whatever I've got plugged in here would be mixed together, come out here wirelessly into another speaker. So therefore, I've got 2 speakers in my venue. I could do this again and again. So let's imagine you are running a wedding thing. You don't really want really loud speakers from the front with daddy going, whatever, you know. Well, my daughter, now she's going, you know, what all that stuff. It blasting really loud, killing the people in the front, and in the back, people just hear brr, brr, brr. It's horrible. How about you run one of these in the front, wirelessly to the next, which is somewhere under the table, wirelessly to the next, and you've got 4 all over the venue on the floor as wedges. Because, yes, rubber down here works as a floor wedge. And then they don't have to be super loud. You could control them from your app. And everywhere is a clear vocal signal. Nowhere it is too loud. That's cool. You could have this again in mono, running music all over the hall, wherever you are, even maybe possibly, I don't know, into the foyer where people are hanging out, all by just chaining them together with the wireless. Yeah, that system would cost you about $4,000, $5,000, depending on if you need 4 or 5. But it would be a super light system, all wired. That is phenomenal. That is so freaking cool. Or have two of these, plug them into the back of your mixer, and wherever your DJ thing is, or whatever you're doing with your band, run it wirelessly into the speakers. That is extremely cool. I am, as you can clearly see, very excited about this, about the functionality. Now it's showing you like how charged this is, because they do not need to be charged somewhere. Yes, they have USB-C, but by plugging it in here, it actually charges off the battery inside. Fuck yeah, Bose. I mean, you're really just nailing every single aspect of how to do this. USB power powers external devices if you want to charge your phone. And then there's a USB-C right there. Now, what is this for? They call it live streaming. Now, you could run this into your laptop, possibly your USB-C equipped iPhone 15, who knows? And then live stream the concert, whatever you're doing, directly with the audio and effects and everything, not recorded with a mic, but direct audio from this. It turns your, I don't know if it works with the phone, but it should, phone or Mac or laptop, it turns this into an audio interface. It doesn't take computer audio into it, but the audio from here into your computer, and you can record, get this, the individual tracks for later mixing or for running live into YouTube or something like this. That is really neat, and it takes a USB-C cable, and working with it for about half an hour and figuring it out. Impressive. You can mount it on a stand. There's a hole, yes, as a floor wedge. And when you're using it as a floor wedge, they even thought about flipping the little screens automatically so you don't have to tilt your head. A tone match is a thing where for the 2 channels, you have EQ presets. So if you're running an SM58 like this, you could easily have SM58 presets, and then it kind of EQs it a little bit and does things to it, maybe even compression, stuff like this. If you're running an acoustic, you can set up different tone match presets, and the next time you turn it on, that tone match is on. However, if you don't want that, hold this in, go to tone match, which right now is off, or you can switch it to a microphone or instrument, and then it goes to the microphone or instrument preset that you set up in the app. But you need to hook up the Bose Music app to do that. I keep it off. That way there is no confusion. The insert thing, I'm just seeing this right, that is just the freaking coolest thing ever. I think I covered everything. It's a lot of features for a thing that has this few knobs. Rubber at the bottom. Rubber here for a wedge, the weight. And I know that its predecessor has served us so well on Floral Island in the Philippines. This would have served us even weller. So and turn it off again. I love it when you don't have to hold things for 7 minutes. Click, click, done. You don't even see that these are in here. And I'm ready to go right now. And I know they're charged because they've been in here. There is no, is it charged? Doesn't even show you on it. I feel like Bose has thought about so many aspects of this. And now I wish I had 3 or 4 of them for exactly what I told you, to chain them together. I'm stunned that an already great product, a great and simple product that they had, is now improved by this much. Where can this system go? And again, it's so light. Throw this in the car and your acoustic and 1 microphone and you're good to go. You've got your acoustic on the back and you drag this through the streets until the cops come and tell you can't play amplified, and then you just take it to the next street until the cops come there and arrest you. Vienna or something. Sweetwater. You guys, you know who you are. I love you people. This was so great. I love that you always try to push this, because this needs to be pushed. People, this needs to be something that I know at $1,000 or $1,100 in Europe, that musicians or bands should have in their arsenal to practice with, to play with, to a bass player forgot his rig. Okay, put him in here. The wedding, the the little gig in the cafe. So many places where you can use this. I'm excited. My rant's done. Clearly, I'm impressed. I did not get paid for this video, but this little puppy is mine and I'm not letting it go. Thank you, Sweetwater, for sending this. Love you, people. I put links below to Sweetwater and Thomann. Please check them out. If you're in the market for a mobile PA, this should be on your shortlist to check out. If the amount of inputs, which is the one thing, is enough. I'm waiting for version S2 Plus Pro Plus something, where you've got 4 or 5 inputs, all with wireless. Then we're talking. Not yet. Animals at the end.
Come find me. I am desperate for your love. I am calling out to you. Do you hear me and here the feeling comes again. Prepare my mind for battle within. I won't be taken or separated. I take the oath to make me new. I search my heart and soul free.